Hi, I'm Ryan Fisher. I'm a partner here at Lowe Eklund Wakefield. One of the questions I get most often from new clients is, what's going to happen to my medical bills? Do I have to pay my medical bills for the accident that I was just involved in? And it's a complicated answer that involves a legal term called subrogation. Lawyers throw that word around a lot, but most people don't know what subrogation means. So my advice to all of my clients is, if you have health insurance, you should use that health insurance to pay your medical bills. There's no telling how long your case is going to go, and there's no telling how your case is going to turn out. So as long as you have a resource to pay your medical bills, it's always in your best interest to use that resource to pay your medical bills. Now, when your insurance company, whether it's public or private, pays your medical bills, you may, and I stress the word may, have an obligation to reimburse that health insurance company if and when you make a recovery. So for instance, if you're a Blue Cross Blue Shield recipient and Blue Cross pays all your medical bills, and then you make a settlement from the person who ran the red light and hit you, you may have an obligation to pay Blue Cross back some or all of the funds they paid on your behalf. The reason that you may have an obligation is because the contract between you and your insurance company may provide for that obligation. So let me break this down. There's two types of insurance out there. There's public and there's private. Public insurance would be Medicare or Medicaid or possibly even VA benefits. And in those, if you're covered by those insurances, in those situations, you almost always have an obligation to repay. Medicare, there's a federal law that requires you to repay. Medicaid, there's a state law that requires you, and VA also is a federal program. The amount that you have to repay is usually open to negotiation, and a good lawyer will negotiate with the state or with the federal government to try and reduce that amount. Every dollar that's reduced that doesn't have to be paid back is another dollar in your pocket. Those are, from the lawyer's perspective, those are the easy cases. Those are cases where we know we're going to have to pay your reimburse your health insurance company for your medical bills. The private cases, Aetna, Blue Cross, Medical Mutual, those raise a few more problems. So while those are all private, there's two primary types of coverage. There's self-funded plans and there's traditional plans. So if you work for a big employer like the Ford Motor Company or General Motors, those companies have the resources to pay medical claims out of their own pockets. So when you go to the doctor and you submit your bill, that money is actually coming from the employer's pocket. Whereas in the traditional plans, the money is coming from Blue Cross or Aetna or Cigna, whoever your insurance carrier is. If it's a self-funded plan, the laws are very favorable for the employer to fight and get their money back that they pay on your behalf. If it's a traditional plan, it really depends on what the language in the policy is to determine whether any amount of money is owed back. A good lawyer here at Lowe Eklund Wakefield, we always make sure before we pay a penny to a health insurance company, we want to make sure that you, the client, actually owes that health insurance company back. So it's always good practice to get a copy of the plan, the actual plan, not the summary plan, not a brochure, not something that your HR person told you, but the actual plan, and it's usually several hundred pages. And make sure that that plan actually provides an obligation for you to repay that health insurance company back. We have been surprised many times that while the lawyer or the person representing the health insurance company claims that there's an obligation to repay, lo and behold, we get the plan and there is no such obligation. So it is a complicated part of the case. It's an important part of the case. And here at Lowe Eklund, we really understand the subrogation issues, and we fight to make sure that we can put every last nickel in our client's pocket. It's a complicated issue. I'd be glad to answer any questions. You can call me. You can email me. We're here all the time for you. Thank you.